Hello, everybody. Joe and I were talking about our tenant issues,
Yes,
and
we
I
were
got
talking.
yeah, I just was like ramble in my mouth, uh, just talking about large rats. Anyways, we're talking about SEO, but I wanted Joe, if you don't mind, I just want to share a little bit about myself and how this whole thing it all relates to SEO. Just hear me out. So back in 2017, I start my YouTube channel, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just making these goofy videos, and I'm having fun doing it. I get lucky, I get a couple people calling me on these videos, so I continue to do this. But I'm like, I want to get more traction. I want to get more traction on these videos. So I start I started listening to every single YouTube guru you could think of. At the time, there wasn't any real estate gurus at that time. There wasn't anybody. And so I would go to a live stream after live stream, spend like a ridiculous amount of money on super chats for them to answer my questions. And I found out that my titles were bad. I found out that my thumbnails were bad, but I knew that couldn't be really the problem. And then all of a sudden, I get sucked into SEO, right? And this is like, I start going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out the SEO magic. And if everybody's ever heard me talk before, I've always said, but it was the SEO magic words, the secret phrases that no one else knew of. But if I had downloaded these special tools that only a few people had, access to, then all of a sudden I was going to have the magic sauce of words. It was the perfect recipe of tags and SEO research that would make my videos blow up. And I mean, I'm not joking when I tell you this. I would spend a whole entire day. I would get up, I'm like eyes cracked, teeth not even brushed, make my tea, sit the computer down in the kitchen and start typing in and I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tools. So I'd start first on TubeBuddy, and then I would do all these little different phrases. Then I would go to vidIQ and do it. Then there was this other one called Morning Fame. So then this one was the one I really thought was going to be the secret sauce to SEO. And because you could do your thumbnail, your title, and your description, and it would give you like a red, green, blue, whatever, it'd give you the little thing. And then if I had them all in that little code, I'm like, this is going to be it. But I had to go one more step. And I would go into Google Trends to see if there was anything in Google Trends. And then I would go into keywords everywhere. That was my last step. And then it didn't work. So then I was like, okay, then I have to find a different way of doing it. So then I started with keywords everywhere. Then TubeBuddy, did this every single day, every single video, I should say, twice a week. Because I used to upload twice a week, two times a week.
So how many hours would you spend filming your content? And then how many hours would you spend doing your SEO for YouTube?
The filming part was the easy part because I would script it for a day. And then after I finished scripting it, usually I would film it. So it'd be scripted and filmed that very same day. So that was not the big deal.
So you were spending a lot more time actually doing SEO.
More time on SEO.
Keywords, I guess maybe let's break down keywords and tags. What exactly does that mean, SEO in YouTube?
Right. So when I was being told that in order to rank on Google, I had to have certain kinds of words in my tags and my description that matched up with each other. So that way I would rank on Google. That was the most important thing, is to rank on Google. I was like, right. Okay. And then because, all these people kept telling me, you had to have a very local channel, and that was your niche, is your location, which I found out later that's not true. That I would make sure that I put Baton Rouge, Ascension Parish, all these things so I could rank on Google. Now, don't get me wrong, my videos rank on Google, but how many people are really even to this day, they still rank? those old videos, but they don't mean anything because they're not watchable. I mean, they're not interesting to a person that's looking for information. They're boring,
Yeah.
Even though I had a great time doing them. I found them highly entertaining. I mean, they did get a good laugh out of people, but it wasn't the thing that made, like, that whole strategy, that amount of time that I wasted, so much time I wasted. Not only that, because of these SEO strategy type tools, they were telling us to put like in the title. So it'd be like how to buy a house, buying a house in Ascension Parish. And then like the third one would be Baton Rouge real estate, right? So they would have this, like, use this little, so it was 3 titles that were SEO rich that would allow my video to have more Google juice to rank higher on the Google webs. That's what I was told. So I'm doing what these experts were telling me to do. I never have been so incredibly ticked when I found out that wasn't the way. Like, I almost started crying. I mean, honestly, I could cry now, the amount of time, because I would shoo my kids away because I had to concentrate. I was really studying and digging into all these words, and I was, like, contemplating all these phrases, because that was it. You have to long form keyword phrases. That's what they kept saying. Long, it isn't just real estate. It has to be a long form keyword phrase in order to get people. What are you? I mean, honestly, that, and then the description, because it had to be SEO rich. It had to be 250 words long. So I'm making mini blog posts in my description for my videos to be found. That is not how YouTube works.
So let me ask you a question. So you did all of that stuff, and you did it for a long time. And like, so you're listening to people and they're telling you how to do it. Did you get any results from that?
I did get some results. Some results. I mean, I wouldn't have continued to do it if I wasn't getting results. Like, I was getting people calling me. That wasn't the thing, but it wasn't enough. Like, there was a lot of time put in those videos, and I'm like, well, what is it that I'm missing? I'm missing something, because the video quality had increased exponentially. People had known who I was. I was starting to get on podcasts, and people were asking me to talk at things. And so, I mean, that was getting me a lot of attention in the real estate world, but I mean, it wasn't giving me enough attention in my business. I really wanted this to work. And like, I couldn't, like, people were saying, well, why don't you do a course about this? I'm like, because it's not working yet. Like, I want to make sure this works. And so
that brings up a really good point, though, is that you were looking for something and you were getting bad advice, or advice that maybe, the algorithm changes and things happen, but you were getting things that weren't actually helping your channel that much. Yes, you're putting content out and you're putting stuff out, but it wasn't giving you the results that you wanted. But because you could see other YouTubers that were crushing it on YouTube and they were getting like millions of views and all of these things, and it's like, well, what are they doing differently than what I'm doing? And it can't just be, because it's real estate. Like, there's people in financial channels, there's people in like all this stuff. Like, tell me kind of your thought process on that.
So that was one of the things that came up at a conference I had gone to. I had spent some money on there, and I'm talking to one of the experts. And I said, like, I'm really trying to get this YouTube thing like going and everything. And they said to me, well, you're going about this all wrong. YouTube is just a place to store your videos. It's not a place to build a business or build to get real estate leads. Like, that's just something like a hub to hold your videos, and you're wasting a lot of time on there. He's like, if you want to be a content creator for real estate, what you really need to do is be a digital mayor. And I was like, you're talking about the Gary V method? Yeah, absolutely. And he goes into saying what this whole digital mayor thing is. And I'm looking at them the whole entire time, and I'm like, I already did that. Like I did that already. And I know for a fact that doesn't work. And I'll tell you what it worked about it was the people that I actually did the videos for, the shops and everything, they ended up using me as a real estate agent, but
Right.
it never created a business where I was like getting leads from those types of videos. I was doing actually better with the 5 tips of buying a house or 5 things they never tell you when you move. That worked better on YouTube than the digital mayor thing. So yeah, the people were out there giving advice that had no real experience. They said that they had clients that they worked with, that this was really working, but you never saw any of their results.
Right. So they were saying it was working, and to buy their course and to listen to what they say. But if you wanted to see like the analytics or wanted to see like the successes, it was like, trust me, it works. Like you need.
Yeah, it was very trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. And so when I got too deep with the conversations, they were like, it was more like, oh, you're cute. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Why don't you email me? Yeah, and I already knew what that was about. I wasn't emailing them.
Right.
So I just had to kind of do it on my own because nobody was listening to me, And so I struggled with that.
I think a lot of people can relate to that it's, YouTube is hard, and trying to find out how you're putting your heart and soul into something, and then you're getting bad advice or advice that maybe isn't exactly right. And maybe it worked at one point and things had changed, and it's different because this always changes. But like, it's one of those things where you're you're putting all of this effort into it, and you want to see like some results, and it can be frustrating. And I think a lot of agents are kind of in the same boat where they're like, you know what, like, I just want a breakthrough. I want something that will actually just take off for me. But they continually, just like what we're talking about, are told the wrong things. They're told that you trust me, like I have a following, or I know what I'm talking about. I'm a guru, and these are the things that you need to do. And then it doesn't work, and it's monotonous, and people lose steam, and then they usually quit doing videos because they're not getting business, they're not getting leads, or they're not getting enough for the value exchange, right? They're not doing enough to go, wow, it's not really worth it to me because I could go knock doors and reach more people than my video reached, like. So what do you say to something like that?
I always the one thing I can compliment myself on is that I even though I was spending a lot of time trying to listen to the gurus and stuff, is that I didn't spend a whole lot of money into any of the other extra stuff,
Right.
I was going to do it on my own because no one was really helping me anyway.
Right.
And when I decided that this year I'm going to invest the money into YouTube, I'm going to make sure that I get the right teacher to help me. And I went through them all, who's this person? Who do they represent? How many, what do their channels look like? Then I would go down to the next person. It was they didn't know they were being interviewed, but they were being interviewed. And I went through every single one until I actually I kind of won a contest. And then I was like, well, I'm definitely going to have this guy help me. And I was lucky that Daryl when I won that contest, I got an hour-long consultation with Daryl Eves. You know him.
I do know him.
You do know him. And then he was like, well, you actually have some good videos here, and I'm like, well, thank you. And then he was telling me some stuff. And when he's like, well, tell me about your process. And I explained the whole thing out. He said, you spend a whole day on SEO? I said, yeah. He's like, well, you need to stop doing that. And I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? He's like, just write a quick paragraph right there. He's like, but your titles are awful. And I'm like, oh, well, their SEO. No, he's like, no. So he gave me some advice. I listened to that call that he had given me probably 2 or 3 times just to try to untrain what I had learned to do. Because I was so used to this system that I had come down with. I knew each day how much time I used to spend on this specific thing and how many hours it would take to do this. What's the funniest part is that I used to spend a whole 15 seconds making the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I didn't know, And the title, I was basically doing the title and the thumbnail after the fact. Like I'd filmed this video, scripted all out, and then I would do all that stuff afterwards. But like the tags, honestly, like in order, when I was uploading that video and I was putting in each tag, I'm looking at the scores in the corner to make sure that they lined up the way they were supposed to. And if I was like, I think it was TubeBuddy, it was like 100%.
100%. And you're like, oh, this one's going to totally take off.
Oh, I remember distinctly like finding a secret tag, right? Like the secret tag, screenshotting it and posting it on Brian G. Johnson's group that's on Facebook and going, look, I found a tag that's 100%. And everyone's like, oh, wow. And then I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have posted that. Somebody else is going to make a video and it's going to have that tag and everybody's going to have viral hits and mine's not going to get found. I remember thinking that, like, because I didn't know, because that's what I was taught. It's such a waste of time. I haven't looked at one of those tools since 2000, October of 2000. No, it's probably November of 2019. Never looked at another one of those tools. Never even looked at them. I have it still, as my browser thing. I need to take it off. I don't pay attention to that. I just, type in what the video is about.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think that's important that, like, as we're doing these channel reviews and we're doing these things, that the information that we're sharing, it comes from someone that we've personally taken his course. And not only are we taking this from him, we're also getting, Daryl basically said, you guys should make, this course that we're doing, and we to teach people, because he realizes that real estate agents are there are people and they need help. And he's like, you guys can definitely handle, you can help them. And it's something that, we obviously do. And so one of the things that I think that people don't realize is that it really does matter, like, where you get your information from, and it matters where you put your the dedication. And you changed something and you almost flopped it though, right? Because you took all the time for the keywords and the tags and all that stuff, and then you take 15 seconds for a thumbnail, and now it's like swapped, where you spend more time on a thumbnail and you spend more time, way more time on that. And then it's like, okay, a couple of seconds for tags and keywords now. And so
the title too, right? And so I will massage a title and I'll go back to it, and even sometimes right before upload, I'll, like, all of a sudden it'll hit me and like, ooh, this would be so much better. And, and like, even though I already have the good basis of what the title is going to be before I even film the video, like I already know what it's going to be. Sometimes there's just some adjectives, a little more descriptive words that would make that title even juicier. So I'll change it sometimes right then. And then sometimes, like, I would think about that my prior mindset was like, how many words can I get in there? How many SEO keywords can I get in that title without it, like, how many does YouTube allow to fit in there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a waste.
And now it's like, how small can I get it? And still
I know, it's how short.
Across. Yeah.
How short can I get it? How short can that headline be and really get the point across?
Yeah.
That's my new thing. Like, when I'm looking at the character counter, as I like copy and paste it, or if I'm like retyping it in there, and I'm looking at it on the right hand side as I type each letter. Because I want it to be really short. The shorter the better.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the thing, that is, like, with all of the stuff that we're doing when we do these free channel reviews and all of these things, like, the beautiful thing that you can understand and know is that, like, there is a system, and the system, when you apply it, it works. And it's not something that's magical. It's not something that's out there. It's very, very simple once you understand it, but you have to understand it, and you have to start from the ground up doing it. And like Daryl says, if you do these small tweaks, you get high peaks. And so having little teeny things that when you get the right advice and the right information, and then you double down on that, that's when you see real growth.
We do have a few channel reviews. I don't know how many we have today, but I want to, we talk about small peaks. small tweaks, big peaks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a Daryl phrase. He says you make just minor adjustments and you'll get better results, right? And you'd be surprised how much it will improve something, as little as like flipping your face the other direction, or taking your hand away from pointing at words, that kind of thing. So Joe is relaunching his YouTube real estate channel.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and he put a video out there. We worked together on it. So tell him about that.
Well, so first of all, I know, what I like to do is, obviously I like making videos, I like making content, but what I realize is I don't really like dealing with buyers, and I do more like investments, and I've gotten into developing and doing subdivisions and things like that. And so I really, I stopped making videos on this particular channel like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. And but my wife just got her license, and she's at the brokerage because I'm the principal broker. And so she's like, well, will you get me leads? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get you leads. So Christina and I've been talking. I'm like, okay, I think what I'll do is I'll relaunch my channel, but I'm going to do it the channel Jumpstart way, or the geek way, which is the way we teach people. And then I can give leads to not just my wife, but to my whole office if they want, and anyone else anywhere else in the country. Right. So it was one of those where I'm like, okay, so going through the process of what we teach for those that don't know, we have a course that we teach how to grow your YouTube channel, how to get organic leads and stuff. And so I basically said, okay, I'll go ahead and relaunch my channel. And so I released my first video 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I think, something like that.
Yep.
And right when I did, I sent Christina a screenshot. I'm like, look at this thing is taken off. And then she's like, that's a good idea, take that word out. And I was like, I'm like, yeah. She's like, make it a statement. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And so I just did a little teeny tweak on that, and it changed even more. So
yeah, because you haven't put out a video in over 2 years on that channel, and it has over 2,000 views, doesn't it?
I think right now, let's see.
I'm going to pull it up. I was so, I have to tell you, you have to see wait until you see the thumbnail, because the thumbnail was that's what caught my attention. I'm like, this thumbnail is fire. It was so good. All right. This is you, right?
Yep.
All right, here it is. Yeah, 2,400 views in 5 days. And you hadn't put out anything in over a year.
Yeah. I got 102 on a video testimonial because I'm like, I quit doing that stuff. But look, I mean, yeah, all of my stuff before that is like every other agent, right?
Yes. All the realtors.
Yeah, there you go. There's my thumbnail and title.
Yep, that looks great. That's a great looking thumbnail. Yep.
Yeah, and I like getting great comments and using those comments to get more content ideas too now, because the audience is telling me if they believe what I'm saying, or if they agree or disagree. It's a great resource for sure.
I read some of your comments.
Tell me more.
Yeah, a couple of them are that glowing, but I'm glad you left them.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't care. I want to see what they say and what people have to say. But a lot of it, I'm just like, oh, you don't agree with that? Tell me more. And then they went into a long spiel of why Florida is terrible and not a great place. And so I'm like, okay, that's a great video idea that I can use for my next video.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, very good. Very good. All right. So over here in the chat is all the
yes, all the links.
Yep. I think Brad wanted to do one too.
Yeah, I'll find. He just said something in the comments, I believe. But
yeah, he did. He said he spent a lot of money on silly. He said, I've spent far too much money on gurus. I always bought the tool, right? I always bought the tool because I wanted to figure it out myself. It's kind of like when someone gives you a Rubik's Cube and they also give you the book to how to solve it. And I'm like, nah, I don't want the book. I'm not going to read a book. I want to sit there and I want to figure it out.
This last one is Brad's. I just pulled it up.
Okay. All right. So the first one is moving to Metro Atlanta. Is that the first one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, dokie. Let's go ahead and share this tab. All right. Subscribe to learn about moving to Metro Atlanta, the Georgia Property Brothers. They must be brothers.
They must be.
Yep. And they got new videos every week. And I love this. Schedule a Zoom call.
Yep.
I made it a little bit smaller so we could see their thumbnails a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this is their homepage. Farmers Market in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's nothing else on their homepage. That's it. I would set, there's a little tab in move, like when you go on your own channel, moving to Atlanta, you'll see it says customize channel. And I would hit that button and start adding like some of your playlists and other videos here. So it doesn't just look like you have, you know, just a couple videos. Because I know when you click here, oh, wait, you only have 3 videos.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind. Oh yeah, they just started.
They just started. Yep.
Yep. So what do you want to say?
Well, what do we want to? What are we talking about? The whole thing? Are we talking like?
We're just giving a basic channel review.
So probably what I would do is obviously you've got too many. I'd clean up your channel art, the banner, like it's too busy. Like
Right.
You don't need to subscribe to. You got to get rid of that. I do like the moving to Georgia. Let's talk. That's great. It's fine to have the two of you separated on both sides, but to me, again, we talk about like what's the value proposition, like what are you offering, and what can people at a glance know? Okay, you do real estate in the metro area of Atlanta, but you don't need new videos every week.
Correct.
Like that stuff can all go away.
I'm just looking at their profile picture here. There's no reason to even have this little border that says the Georgia. Because, I mean, honestly, this is the only time if they clicked on your channel, they'd probably be able to see it. But most of the time, you're commenting in people's comment sections using this account. No one's going to be able to read that little Georgia Property Brothers little emblem at the bottom. I mean, no one's going to be able to see it. It's going to be very difficult to read. If it was me, I just had the two of you in that circle and take off that Georgia Property Brothers thing. That would be my suggestion.
I agree. You could even like take that stroke off, the yellow that goes around there, and you could make themselves, they could be bigger. Yeah.
But I think that if they took that border off of that like banner right there.
Yeah.
And they just made themselves bigger. I don't mind this yellow thing here because it's an eye-catching color, right? Sure. So I wouldn't mind if they left that as long as they made themselves bigger and got rid of that red banner. Because like anytime I see somebody with a color like that, it pops so much more in like comment sections. It's obvious that it's a creator, Yep. Anyway, all right. So right from the bat, this is good. This little thumbnail here I like that it's the house. I would have had a better picture of the house because I don't like looking at the garage. Most people don't. I mean, that's not the most appealing feature of a house is the garage. I would have shown the front of it more, but I like the numbers there. I'm not a big fan of the 2 small versions of them at the bottom of that thumbnail. What do you have to say?
Well, I think if you're going to do like what can this get you? They're really there for the house, and they're really there. So like they have the price up big enough that's perfect. I would say take both of them off and make the house even a little like a different angle of the house and make it a little bit bigger. But that's, and if you did the numbers, maybe do the price and kind of have it go behind part of the peak of the roof line or something to give it a little graphics. But I don't necessarily think if you're going to have yourselves on there, they got to be a lot bigger. So, but personally, I think it's such a new channel. They're not really going to be known from who they are right now. So correct. I would just get rid of it.
Yep. The other thing is, you remember we were talking about the double titles here?
Yes.
They did that.
Yep.
So I know that it says, what does 685 buy in Metro Atlanta in 2023?
Yep.
So if it was me, I'm like, if you wanted to keep it as a question, normally I like statement type titles, but I would say, what does 685,000 or K buy in Metro Atlanta? Leave it there. You don't need to put 2023. Everybody at this point already knows it's 2023. If you haven't made it this far and still don't know that it's 2023, then, that's a you problem, not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to put that in there.
Yeah.
I would remove all that Stone Ridge, Manard, and Buford. I would get all of that out of there. That's stuff that needs to go in the description. Nobody, like, that isn't going to give you better SEO juice. You probably heard that it did.
Yeah.
You're more Google juice because you did it that way, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I know, because I've done this. I've been there. I know this.
Yeah, really, the key is having a good thumbnail and then a title that makes it to where you want to click on it, and that with the statement, like you're saying, could do that, especially if they're like, oh, what can that get me? Like, that's more important, I think, than the address. And I know people are like, well, but if you type in the address and you do that, then it's going to show up on Google and blah, blah, blah. Well, we're not talking about that. This is like, the strategy is to get you the most views is going to be what YouTube suggests.
And let's be honest, everybody's Google page is going to be different. Right. When people have told me in the past, I'm ranking on Google right now, I go on mine and I'm like, no, they're not. What are they talking about? Because Google is following their viewing history. So yes, it looks like you've ranked on Google because you're looking in your on your Google page. It's
every page is different.
Every single page is different. So this thing doesn't work the way you think it does. I know that you'll hear different things from different people, but I've already done this. I've been through this whole process. I assure you it doesn't. You would do so much better taking that second information and putting it in the first line of your description than putting it on the title. That's just my little piece.
I concur.
He did the same thing here too. Yep. Same thing. Same idea. All right, let's go to the about section really quick. They're so new. There's not much I can say. So, welcome to Georgia Property Brothers channel. We have our Bob and Adrian, and yes, we are brothers. Well, you couldn't tell by looking at you. Just kidding. It's like Daryl and you. You know, like you already know who all the Eves family is.
Yeah. They have a very dominant gene.
Yes. Our channel is about living in Metro Atlanta, moving to Metro. Oh, here we go. This is another SEO trick that's supposed to be
the SEO keywords.
Yep, gonna give it some Google juice. This is not good. So if you're a regular person jumping on to the about page and you're reading this, our channel is about living in Metro Atlanta, moving to Metro Atlanta, and relocating to Metro Atlanta. Nobody talks like that. Nobody human beings do not talk like that. And you think if you're satisfying some magic AI computer in the background that's going to read that and give you more SEO juice, because I used to do this. That's not how it works. The whole AI system is based off of human beings and human being watching patterns. And the only thing the AI knows for sure is that you're trying to keyword stuff it.
Yep.
To make it sound better for the robots.
Which that can backfire. That's something that if you do it too much, you go against, their policy, and it will actually hurt you rather than you think you're pulling a fast one on them. So
I think it was like, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I think it was about 4 years ago. They said if you continue to do a bunch of keyword stuffing in your descriptions and in your tags and try to game the system, that they would remove your channel. It is part of the I don't know when they changed it, but it is part of the terms of service that you can't do that.
Yep. I think again, it's going back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this live stream, is getting bad advice, right? Or thinking that they're talking to an SEO guy, and the SEO guy's like, hey, you gotta cram in, Metro Atlanta as much as you possibly can, rather than looking at it and saying, hey, there's a human being that wants to actually learn more about this area, and they want to learn, what is the value proposition? What are you offering them? And is it something that when they read that they feel like they got something, like they know what the channel's about? And I think that they could easily do that with just like that explore Metro Atlanta life with us. Like that could be the very first part of the about.
Right. This is the other thing that I would like. I'm looking at this paragraph here. It says, explore Metro Atlanta life with us, from eating to working, leisure to real estate, pros and cons. We cover it all. It's a real estate channel.
Yeah, you should just be covering real estate.
It should be just covering real estate. Like, get rid of the eating, working, and leisure. There's no reason. Like, I would take that all out of there, because you have to stay focused on what the prize is, which is real estate. All that other stuff, you don't care about it. Neither do the people who are watching. I would take all that out.
Yeah, unless it's something like in your area that is very, very specific and well known, and you're trying to promote that or push that, like there's no need. But the thing to remember is this is an about section, and so it really should just have a brief description of like what the channel's about, and then a way for them to contact you and get a hold of you.
Yeah, they did that good.
Yeah, there you go.
And they even did the book the call. Smart. Yep. That was smart. Yep. And then they only have one link. It's not even going to other social media sites. That's
perfect.
Perfection.
I wonder if they've listened to us before.
They might have. They might have listened a little bit. They might have. Or who knows? They could have been trained by somebody else. But yeah. Okay. Well, that was that one. We're going to go off to the next one. Nobody's commented today.
They're scared because we are talking about SEO, and they are all cramming it in there.
Yeah, I know. It does. I've heard people really upset about.
But the thing is that that's not what YouTube wants. So like we're gonna upset some people by setting kind of like the standard, and obviously like go back to his channel just for a minute.
Oh, I just clicked off the link. Darn it.
I was gonna say that they have some videos that are 5 days old. If they were to tweak and adjust their thumbnail and adjust the title, there's no reason that they couldn't have way more views. I think there was only like 5 views or something like that.
Or yeah, they just started. They literally just started.
I think. But what I'm saying is like if putting it out there, go to I think it was the very first one. It had something to do with like farmers market or something like that.
Yeah, that farmers market. Yeah. I don't know. That's not even. No.
Yeah, like that's is that real estate, or is that like something to do in Atlanta?
This is that digital mayor thing that does not work.
That's what I'm saying is, so they got 9 views or whatever. I'm not trashing that. I'm just saying, like, if you can drill down and figure out, hey, I want to work with first-time home buyers, or I want to do, they said relocation. So they should be talking about a lot of stuff in the relocation market across the country, not just like what's going on in Georgia.
Yeah. Like, the local festival.
Right. Nobody cares about that.
Well, they do during that week before the festival. Then once the festival's over, that thing dies on the vine.
Yeah. So it's like, you made all this effort for something that you get like a little teeny bit of, and I guess it depends on the channel, but if you're
this would be good for Facebook, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say Instagram, Facebook, something where it's like, hey, for 60 seconds, you got a great thing.
Yeah.
Great. But they're doing like long videos, like 9 minutes, 11 minutes. Like that's great. Like they definitely have that part of it down. So what did Brad saying? My channel hasn't been updated in a year or two. So
is this Brad Armstrong here?
No. Well, I think his is the last one in that link list.
Oh, I just went ahead and put him on there anyway.
Oh, okay, got it.
He's in the course. He gets a little heads up. He gets a little front of the line.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So, Southern Oregon life with, and this is lifestyle, real estate, and lifestyle, real estate information. Okay. What you want to say, Joe?
So I can't read that stuff anyways. So if you're going to have something on there, it needs to be quite a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get rid of the subscribe and the link to your website and Facebook.
I'd leave the one to the website as long as it went to a landing.
Well, if it's going to like the MLS, get rid of it unless it's going to like a landing page.
Right.
The picture, he's at least not cutting himself off or like half of the shoulders missing or anything like that, but it could be much bigger. He's teeny tiny on there, so you could definitely make yourself bigger.
I would show like that picture of Oregon in the background is actually beautiful, but I'm sitting here looking on a desktop. I would make that more visible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the opacity and like it being transparent kind of dulls the beauty of Oregon. So I agree. You could almost flip, like reverse that, or even just get rid of like the Oregon state and just have the really beautiful picture, and then lifestyle real estate information bigger.
Yeah. Or like I have the banner say what real estate in Southern Oregon is really like.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Have a good value proposition in there. So I love your profile picture. This is Fly.
It definitely would stand out.
It definitely stands out. Does it really say real estate? Not really. But I mean, at least you're not like this.
Yeah.
This has to be
the standoffish agent.
Yeah. Where did this come from? Why was this considered the professional pose? Nothing screams like, do not touch me or get near me. Like I'm going to cross my arms over my chest.
It was, they were probably like, you know what? We got to be like attorneys, and the attorneys do this, so we should do it. You got to remember, like back in the day, like that was the thing, is like agents, it was all about like, you got to have like the business suit on, and you got to be, all of this stuff. And I think people have realized that, it's a people business. You're dealing with people. You need to connect with them on a level, and that barrier of, you could still be professional, but not be like, I don't know, like standoffish, like those, that, and then like the business cards of like when you're an agent, and then when you see them in real life, you're like, is that like the same person?
It's like the AI photos that they have now. All real estate agents are like, oh, let me show you my AI photos. I'm like, oh, girl, you've been doing AI photos since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
There was a girl in my office. She was turning 50 years old, and she got her new business cards out, and she put them in, like, we had the little carrier there.
Yeah.
And she put them out there. And I'm like, I noticed that because they were different. And so I go to the office and I go, who is this? And they're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, that looks nothing like her. I'm like, boy, they really smoothed out her skin. I mean, her face looked like a newborn baby's rear end. Like, what was she thinking? I mean, and she, to this day, she still uses that. That woman's got to be 61, 62 years old. She's still using that same over airbrush. I mean, it looks nothing like her. So bizarre. So bizarre. Anyway, beside the point. All right, let's give it.
It's just funny.
Yeah, I know. How bad is it? Why people are leaving Oregon? What is going on, Brad? We know Brad, so we can be a little bit more snarky with him. What is going on with this thumbnail?
What's he pointing at?
I don't know. The crack in the driveway?
Well, we haven't gotten to the thumbnail section of the course yet, so we can give him a little bit of a break, I guess.
Yeah, but even the centering of the house, like the house
it's off center, and then you got a little cloud, and then I'm not really understanding, like, if people are leaving, like what that house has to do with it.
So if people are leaving, I would make this title a statement. So I would have said, people are leaving Oregon, question mark. Like exclamation.
Yeah.
And then a question mark. I make it a statement. I would never leave it as a question. And then I would have like a panel, like the thumbnail would be like, a moving truck and like, saying bye-bye and then the sign of Oregon.
Yeah, you could have like the sign of Oregon off to the sign, and then have like a U-Haul or a Penske or whatever, and then and honestly, like, arrows are great in thumbnails. It's just you got to be pointing to something that makes sense.
Not a crack in the not the crack in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's pointing at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing that his thought process was, and maybe I'm way wrong with this, is that he's pointing so that it goes to the title. That's the only thing I could think of why.
But it's not even pointing at the title. It's pointing to the corner of the thumbnail.
I'm thinking he's thinking it reads it like this. We'll have to ask him.
Okay. We'll ask him later. Is he in the chat still?
What's that? Maybe. I don't know. He just says he might have bounced.
If we have time, Rebecca, we will review.
No, he says he's on still. He says yes.
Okay. So let us
pointing to, Brad?
What is this? We got to know. Can you type out what the thought process was on this particular thumbnail? I got to know.
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Yeah, my curiosity is killing me. Rebecca, I don't think we're going to have time, honestly. We still have 3 other ones to go through.
We can do it next week, though. Just fill out the form, and we're happy to do it next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did he answer? He didn't answer. He doesn't want to answer.
He hasn't answered yet.
Okay, well, we're just going to go on to the next one.
He might not know, so maybe, let's see. I was copying a thumbnail from another channel around the similar topic in another state that crushed. And then he said, mine did not.
Yeah, but you don't even know why it crushed. It could have crushed because they spend an ad money on it,
Yeah,
I used to have that happen where I was like, well, how did they get 30,000 views on that crappy video?
And then zero comments, 0 likes. It's just a promoted video.
One of the times that I knew of this real estate agent, and he was like, oh, I want to let you know, like, I just got a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of views to my channel that came in right after I did this interview with you. I'm like, we only had 6 people watching that. I don't believe that for a minute, right?
Right.
And kind of find out, like, it was so easy to tell that it was all bot, because it was like, yeah, he bought it. He bought it all. Christina can always tell, That's funny. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they bought it too.
It definitely could be. I think that's the thing, is sometimes people, you're following someone and something hits, and if there's not like a real reason why, you may not know, and you just don't think about it. And to you, it's like, oh, that thing just totally took off. But when you've been doing this a while and you understand, like, there are indicators and things that will make something, like Daryl talks about this all the time, that there's patterns. And when you see these patterns, like, you'll see it. And if there's no patterns and something doesn't add up, then it's usually because it was purchased.
Right.
But when you first start out, you have no idea, because you don't even know what to look for. You don't know what the pattern is. And so you're just like, dang, man, they totally are crushing it, even though
they're not
didn't.
Really.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Every time I hear the word pattern, I think of my little girl when she was really little. For some reason, she couldn't say the word pattern, and she would say pattern. Pattern. All right, we have Sheila Cahoon. Cahoon? Did I say that right, you think?
Cahoon.
Seems right to me. All right, so videos every Friday, educating buyers and sellers, all things real estate. We got her name, her phone number, her email address. You get the news here. You got Fathom Real Estate. Start your next chapter here. Okay, what do you have to say?
There's just a lot going on. Like,
it's a lot.
There's like too much stuff. I think you could simplify it. Hey, did you see though the arms folded?
Yep. Oh, the arms folded. Oh wow, that's funny. Yeah.
So I think that like, just too much stuff. Like I don't know if it's videos every Friday, educating buyers and sellers. Like, have something to do with real estate on there, like a picture like of a nice house or a great skyline or something that's going to, when people see it, think, oh, that's real estate.
Right.
Get the news here. I don't know if that's going to like some kind of like
it's got a newsletter. I bet.
Yeah. Anything to take them away from YouTube is unless it's to book a call or to jump on a Zoom or something. Don't take them away from you've worked hard to get them there. Don't have them just easily bounce off. So get rid of like the Facebook, and unless it's going to a landing page, I'd update that to just do a landing page.
Agreed. You want to capture their information. I would take down the words. Like, you have a lot of words going on there. Yeah. I know that you work for Fathom Realty. I know that some brokerages do require you to use their logo on, something like the banner or whatever, but there's no requirement on the size. So I take that down and make it really, really small. And the only reason I'm saying that is at any point, at any time, you can change your mind
and being a different
on the brokerage that you work for, or that brokerage may no longer exist in, like, let's just say 4 more years. And so I'd make that very small. I wouldn't put your phone number on there because it's honestly inviting people that are not interested in buying real estate to kind of crank call you. I learned that lesson myself. So I took my phone number off there. It is in my about section, but the only people that call are actually looking for real estate advice because they took the time to search.
To go to the about section.
Right. They're looking for that information.
Yeah.
You don't need your email address on there either because it's not even a clickable link. So I'd take all of that information off of there. I would also take your name off that banner. Your name is already in the title of your channel. You don't need to put your name on there. The videos every Friday, I would take that off of there as well. That doesn't benefit the viewer. The only thing that's going to benefit the viewer is what kind of videos are you making for them? What is your value proposition to them to continue to watch your content? That's what you should put front and center. Just something very simple, 5-6 words max. And then I would, like he said, I would put the arrow to the landing page. So, Yep. Let's look at her about section really quick. We already know that it's going to have the Facebook link to it. Thank you for visiting my channel. I'm always grateful to new visitors who stop by and check out my content. Are you thinking about the southern lower? Okay, this is what I would do. I take that whole first sentence out. And the reason I'm saying that is because you're talking about you right away.
Yep.
So I take that first sentence completely out and go right into, are you thinking about moving to southeastern lower Michigan? Are you looking for to move out of Michigan? I'd love to meet that. This is actually really good if you just took out that first sentence.
Yeah, she's definitely that's more like not cramming in and keyword stuffing. It's really more of like
conversational.
A conversation, but you need to get to the point quicker. Because a lot of people were like, they already know that you appreciate them being at your channel. What you need to do is, like Christina said, what's the value proposition? What is it that they're going to get by being on your channel?
I concur. But the rest of it's perfect, short, sweet, to the point. And that, I mean, honestly, this is probably one of my favorite descriptions.
Yeah. Hey, you don't need a ton.
You don't need a ton. I'm impressed. Very good. All right, here we go. Let's go to videos, and then we're going to get to the next one really quick. All right. Big home search mistake. Why do you need a pre-approval before searching for homes?
Yeah.
Joe?
So again, I would go more. It's too long of a title. Condense it down and make it more of a statement. Turn it into something to do with like
this is what you need, or for approval before you start searching for homes,
or don't make this mistake. Or something with more of a descriptive word. Then
more juice,
more of that.
I say sexy all the time. I'm like, you got to make that a lot sexier.
Yeah, you want people to do that. And then as far as like big home search mistake, it doesn't, like, that to me doesn't mean anything. I don't want to click on that. And the scared face is, I mean, you can mess with that. At least it's big enough. I mean, at least it's bigger. You can see like the white of her eyes, which is great. Right. But I would have something more along the lines of like, having like what we talk about is having a rule of thirds where you have 3 different objects in there. This has kind of 2 and they're not really balanced very well. And you can get more in there by, you could have like a search bar or like a for sale sign, or, even a denied pre-approval, something like that. Like there's lots of like little graphics and things that you can do. But I think
like that. Google, that's an idea. That's a good idea. Like have the search bar of Google at the top, and then buying my first home.
Yeah. And you type in a little bit of what they're looking for. So you, at a glance, so the idea with the thumbnail is at a glance, you get an idea of what the video is about. And without having to read it. It's actually less is more. So the more you can like spend time on your thumbnail, like we talked about in the beginning of kind of spending more time on the thumbnail than keywords or descriptions or any of that other stuff, but really fine tune your thumbnail and your title is going to make a huge difference. But and you could have a couple different variations that you kind of mess with, but you definitely could add a few little things in it, and it could make a big difference on your viewing.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one because we're going to be running over time. So let's share this time. All right, Valiant Broussard, living in Jacksonville, Florida. And then his title is, his channel name is Moving to Jacksonville, Florida, Valiant Broussard.
So everything's about him on that.
Yes.
Like definitely you do something with Jacksonville, Florida, living in Jacksonville, Florida, or something like that. But I know if you like orange, like you're using, you could use that, like what Christina was talking about, like in your profile, and do a stroke around that to have it pop, or even cut yourself out and have that orange in the background. But you need a value proposition. You need to show the viewer what they're going to get when they go to your channel, and not it's me. Like look at me.
Right. All right. So let's go to the about section really quick. He doesn't have anything in there.
Nothing there.
Oh, he just started this. But he just started this? Well, no, he didn't. 2020. That was 3 years ago. Okay.
How many? Well, let's look at his videos. He's got 54 videos.
Yeah, 54 videos. They're all listing videos. No, they're not. This one is revealing the best communities in Jacksonville, Florida. I would start studying other people's thumbnails that have very successful listing video channels and see what they're doing on their thumbnails. Most of them will not have these words like this.
No,
on here.
Usually they'll just have a price and the picture of the house.
Right. This would be the closest one that was like the one that you did 7 days ago. This is the closest, but I would even get rid of that AR Homes.
The logo underneath, and make the 1.5 million way bigger. Way bigger,
and I would get I would put it behind the house. I would actually make the house a little bigger too. Maybe even bluing up the sky a little bit, the sky so it stands out more.
And if you have a different angle, like a $1.5 million home, and I'm looking at the garage.
I know, right?
Like have something that like is wow. Like, and if it doesn't have like the side of the house or something, then maybe zoom in and crop most of that garage off.
This is so weird because I one of the last houses I've shown was almost looked identical to this.
Oh, really?
Staring at it, I'm like this, and it says a custom luxury, so it's got to be a custom builder. But I wonder if they use the same floor plan.
They have the same lot, like the same plans, and then build it in different spots.
Yeah, this is. I mean, the same colors is bizarre. Anyways, sorry, got mesmerized. And that's the same with this one too, because that's kind of a funky angle. It almost looks like you're almost at a hill, like the house is sinking. It looks like, doesn't it?
Your perspective. You almost look like it looks like it's tilted, so it's like
falling out.
Yeah, it's falling backwards or something.
Yep. Same with this one too. It looks tilted backwards.
Yeah. Definitely, like Christina was saying, you can spend a little bit of time at just studying what thumbnails are getting good views, and then look at their titles as well. A lot of times they'll use the word inside, or something like that to let you know that that's a tour.
What this one looks like, it's like
they're all of them are kind of like shifted a little bit, or they're
really wonky.
But
this reminds me of like when you go to Florida and you go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum.
Yeah, and all the mirrors and it's all like
distorted.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like if they're doing that on the thumbnail. Even that one looks like it's coming forward.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have a hired photographer, I think you need to have a little talk with them, a little chat, because this thing right here with the tilted house got to stop.
Yeah, either they're doing that, or when he's putting them in there, it's like it looks like he's almost doing it on purpose.
Yeah, but that isn't going to get, obviously that isn't what gets people to click.
It looks weird is what it does.
And I wouldn't like this whole thing where it says luxury and then
you're covering the actual
house.
I can't even read,
But that was done over a year ago. So, yep. All right. Well, that'll give you a couple things to work on. Yeah. All right.
23 states in the U.S. that saw more people move in and move away in 2021. And we're still seeing people.
All right. Living in Lower Alabama. I feel like I've talked to these people before. I feel like I know them. Anyways, too many words on your banner.
Yep. It's about them too. They're the #1 relocation team in Lower Alabama, like that, and new videos every week, like that, or every Thursday and Sunday. That stuff doesn't need to be on there.
Right. So I would be like relocation expert information of Lower Alabama. That's what should be on there. All that other garbage needs to come right off. Your real estate fam, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
New videos every Thursday and Sunday. No, they don't care. No one cares. But I love this free relocation guide. I hope you're capturing their information with that.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not just letting them download it, but they're getting their contact info before they get it.
Yep. Ooh, they gotten over 35,000 views in the last month. That's really good. They got over 1,000 subscribers. Very good. Very good. All right, let's look at this. Videos. What haters are saying. Okay, so now we went from too many words in a title to too little words in a title. And 2 titles at the same time.
The thumb. I mean, I get the idea of what they're trying to do, but it needs to be more descriptive. Like they're like haters in what? Like I don't like what is that you're trying to say? And I get they're saying it's living in Lower Alabama, but
I know what they were doing, right? But the thing is you have to remember that most people are not going to take the time to kind of try to figure it out.
No,
right?
If it doesn't make sense to them and it's easy, they're
within a split second,
they're going to move on to the next one.
They're like, whatever, dude. And they're moving on. The other thing too is like, you have a lot going on in this thumbnail. You have words, you have houses, you have a little sign that says redneck area. You got 2 people in the background. Then you have the main person in the front that's kind of small. There's too much. I always say, like, break it down to at least 3 very visible features in a thumbnail that the eye can pick up instantaneously without even thinking about it. And this has a lot of images. I used to do this too, though. If anybody looks at some of the old thumbnails, I mean, it took me a while to figure that out because I kept thinking, well, I have to do more. And it's actually better when you dial it back and almost bring it down to almost like kindergarten level.
Right.
I know that seems crazy. You think that's counterproductive because you're like, but it looks so cool. Yeah. Not cool to most people that are just doing this.
Yeah, exactly. It's too much going on. They want to be able to instantly recognize or know what the video is going to be about.
Yep. So another one here, the thumbnail is like almost too similar in the way that this skyline is almost the same color as the other skyline.
Yep.
And the tone of the image on each side are exactly the same, including the water. So there's not really a difference. If you're trying to do like a versus or you're trying to do something that's a comparable, that thumbnail's too similar. You definitely have to have some contrast. At least, I mean, I do like that he's right in the middle
you know,
Yeah.
and he's good sized.
3 images, perfect.
Yeah, but there's just not enough contrast between the other 2 photos to really make the switch noticeable. Like it just,
if I was to improve it, because I can't help myself, the other house on the other side, I would have like a lush green grass yard.
Yep.
I would have a really blue sky with some white puffy clouds in the background. I would have like a really like almost like a red like barn looking house, you know, that like that almost like a barndominium looking style, that farmhouse that everybody loves. I would have that, you know, instead of.
And the other thing you could do to contrast on the city side is have it more of a like smoggy grayscale, like it not like looking a little bit more dreary. Like that would really contrast it with the blue sky and the green grass. And then you don't have to say anything because it says it. So you don't need
you would have to take the words off.
Yeah.
Yep. I concur. Yep. All right. So that was some good. That's it, dude. We're done.
We don't have any other. Was that all of them?
Yeah, that was Lower Alabama moving to Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We cruised through them because
awesome.
We did it, Joey. All right, everybody.
Yay. Well, you know, one thing I'd like to tell everyone is we do have like this course that we're talking about. All these things that we are talking about, we actually teach in a way more in-depth course to let you guys actually understand the process. And just like what Christina was saying in the beginning of the live stream of how she was getting information and doing all this effort and it wasn't working out. Well, we actually have a course that is specifically catered for realtors to grow on YouTube and to get organic leads and to get more views and to see the progress that you're going to get because of proven results. And the system that we have is through Daryl Eves created Channel Jumpstart, and we've both been through that course, and he's actually in this course with us to teach you guys how to get better views, how to get more leads. So it's not just about the views, but we want you to get more business. Like that's the whole goal of why we do these things is we want you guys to have success on YouTube so that your business can grow. And Christina obviously has a ton of views, a ton of subscribers, and she's constantly picking that up. I'm relaunching my channel, and I can show you just from what the relaunch shows, following this method, it works. So
I have a question. What happened to your picture and Daryl's picture?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to update it.
Yeah.
We're not as important, obviously. So,
well, obviously I'm the star of the show. I mean, really,
obviously
everybody knows that.
Yeah, like, we know that. So yeah, I'm not really surprised. You do have access. I'm sure
Well, if you want to see what we look like. Oh, look. And I want to let everybody know that, Malcolm does a course as well. And we actually even put him here. But if you want to book a call with Joe or I, to go over your channel and do more of a deep dive of your channel and have it, like a better review than these quick ones that we do, just give us a call. We can book a caller here if you're not interested in doing the whole online course.
Right.
But I'm telling you, all the good stuff is in the online course. We'll give you great tips and ways to motivate you to go, forward with your channel. But this is like, honestly, we don't charge enough. That's what we've been told. Everybody that's gone through it, we don't charge enough. So
yeah, but we have a passion for this, and we want people to succeed, and we believe in the power of giving, and that there's enough out there. And so we don't hold on to any secret sauce or anything like that. What we learn and what we find, we share with the group. Like it's something that is available for everyone. And what's exciting is when they actually start putting stuff out and getting results. That makes us extremely happy to see that the stuff that the work and the effort that they're putting in, they're actually getting the results, rather than doing it the other way where you put the work and the effort, but you've been given bad advice, so you don't see the results that you could see.
And then you blame yourself.
You're like, what am I doing wrong? Like,
what did I do wrong? That's what I did for years. That's exactly what I did for years. I didn't have those right keywords, man.
But my score said it was 100%. Like,
I did all my VidIQ 100 on Morning Fame it was 100. TubeBuddy was 100. I don't understand. I had a grade A on Morning Fame, a grade A. I remember being there, I remember being in the kitchen, nearly in tears because I released a video and it was nothing was happening. If I had gotten over 300 views on a video, I was like, yes, I felt like I won. Okay, that was, 300 views. I got it, And I was just still waiting every time. I'm like, okay, but this was the one, this next one's going to be the one that really, hits a vein and everybody's going to watch it. I didn't know. I don't know. That's why we're willing to share with you because we don't want you to be as frustrated as we were. I mean, that was the pits. That was a pit. So, all right, Joe. Well, I'll be seeing you in about 45 minutes with our group. So, all right, my friend.
Awesome. See ya.
Bye, y'all. Hey, look, if you want to join the course, it's in the description. Just FYI. All right, bye.
Bye.
That was my call to action.